Hey everyone, I just got done with my walk and I know it's been a minute since I've done a video. I've been moving through a lot of energy, transmuting a lot. That's what I do. So what I wanted to talk about today is a very hot topic right now is parental estrangement. I'm receiving more and more videos, information, podcasts about how this is like an epidemic, like worldwide. All this cancel culture, and it's just, they're calling it a movement now. I'm like, wow. You know, back when I was dealing with this, I thought it was just me, I just thought it was just my individual situation. I should have known better. But anyways, I digress. Yes, so this cancel culture is all based on fear. Fear of the unknown, fear of what's toxic, anything that feels uncomfortable is labeled as toxic. And it's growing in popularity because of social media, because of actual therapists that are propagating this. So it's my desire to not only bring light to the subject, but also bring a possible solution. So let's go back to this. So a lot of parents are experiencing estrangement from their kids at various ages, from teenager to, grown adults. And it's the parents that are feeling really more and more powerless, disempowered. And so I know in my situation, I would not say certain things or not be my true light self. I would dim my light in order to be in my daughter's world. And so what that does, you have this fear of being discarded or disposed of, which I have been multiple times. And so you learn to watch what you say and, filter basically what you say. You can't truly be yourself. And so it causes this disconnect, or this surface level connection with your own child, which is heartbreaking. It really is, because I know for myself, I wanted a deeper connection for sure. So these surface level relationships don't really honor the deeper aspect of each person, And so what it does too is as you're projecting that person is toxic or that person is bad for you, they make you feel uncomfortable, they trigger you, so you push them away, you dispose of them, discard them, and then that causes trauma on the parent. So it's this back and forth trauma looping, and it keeps re-traumatizing each person. So I'm going to get into why that's actually occurring on a global scale in a minute. So what I'm proposing now is for parents to actually start living in their truth and speaking up, telling their side of the story, because it's valid. And parents are not just robots. They're not just there to serve you. They're actual people. They're actual people with emotions and hurt feelings and, you know, unhealed wounds from the past and traumas of their own. You know, and they thought they did the best they could with you. Most parents, you know, some parents are highly toxic, I'm sure. I'm sure it does apply to some. But the grand majority, I think, are victims of this whole cancel culture, or disposing of what doesn't feel comfortable. So if parents more and more stand in their truth and take their power back and speak their own feelings and mind without fear, that's what keeps the control, is the fear. And that kept control over me for years. So I had fear of being disposed of. I had fear of missing out on my grandchildren, because of course you lose access to them if you're ostracized from the family. So I actually, I guess my biggest wake-up call was when I was accused of being a narcissist, and I was very, very confused by that. Because actually what it was is the more and more that I stood in my power and I took my truth back, I took my power back, that's when I was accused of being selfish, narcissist, toxic, whatever, you know? So I encourage parents to take their power back and let go of the fear. Because either way, if you mess up and say the wrong thing, you're going to be discarded anyways. So in order to get your own self-worth back and your own power back, you have to start speaking your true self, your emotions, your thoughts, everything, you know? And I started doing that, and yeah, and of course that's resulted in, but it happened anyways. It happened anyways. It happened before I started stepping out of fear. I was discarded anyways, so it doesn't really matter anymore. But I say for parents now, it's time to take back your power. Time to acknowledge yourself, have compassion for yourself, have unconditional love for yourself, all of the parts of you. Because the only person you really have control over is yourself, you know, and the more that you can bring love and compassion and healing and wholeness to yourself, that shifts the entire collective. So that's the work. That's what it's encouraging us to do. All right, so we're going to go a little deeper. So that's on a personal level, I guess, you know, but it is global. And so anytime you see something, a trend globally, you have to know that there's something bigger going on. So if you're not aware yet, we are in actual battle. We are in a spiritual war. So the spiritual war is a battle for power and control, but power over people's minds. Okay, so part of the warfare is mental, intellectual, like influencing people's ideas, their beliefs, their modus operandus. So how better to do that than through mass media, religion, television, whatever, you know, like it's influencing how people operate. So I definitely subscribe to the idea of us living in a matrix or a simulation. So the matrix was set up in such a way to manage or control humanity. And the main way that they control people is through fear. So fear is a big controller. So the work for those souls that are ready to move beyond the matrix and to win the battle is to move out of fear. How do we do that? We move into love. So those are the two opposing forces, basically. So you can't have love with fear involved. And so the more that you can let go of the fear and trust that you have guidance. You have guidance from your spiritual guides, from God, Source, Creator. You have guidance in spirit. We are spiritual beings. We have our spiritual, our higher self, our soul. We have guidance, but we need to tap into that. Anyways, that's a whole nother subject. So, what this control matrix is trying to do is pit us against each other. It's been doing that for millennia, you know, whether it's religious wars or cultural wars, or now it's family. It's family against family, you know, and the design is, obviously, if you can keep people fighting and divided, you can conquer them or control them, right? So this last-ditch effort of the dark ones is to disrupt and divide and conquer the family structure. So it's going to keep us looping in trauma reaction, trauma spirals, trauma projections onto each other. And so that trauma looping keeps us in that lower vibration of fear, and that keeps us disempowered. I hope this is helpful to someone. Please comment. Please comment if this is ringing a bell for you, or if it's resonating with you. And let's, start speaking up. Let's start standing in our power and not fearful of what others will do or not do, or, we can only have power over ourselves. And I know it's difficult. It's taken me a good 2 years to process through this situation. And if you're looking for some assistance in this area and getting your power back, I am definitely available as a guide and a coach and a healer. I do energy work. I can heal some pretty powerful ancestral links, imprints, wounding, things that keep perpetuating in your family lineage, because I've had to undo a lot of that in my own. And I think that's it for now. So, time to take back your power. Fear disempowers. So the more that you can love yourself and show compassion for yourself and forgive yourself, and forgive them, because they're being influenced. They're being taken over and influenced, if it's not by social media, by their psychotherapist, or by their religion. All of it is a control factor. So I know for me, I could go on and on. for me, it was literally religion. Kept me away from my parents for 15 years. So that was specifically religion. But yeah. Oh my. Yeah, so it's a lot going on, and I just want parents to feel more supported and more hopeful that they can feel good about themselves and reclaim their power. So that's my message for today, and I hope you got something from it. Please leave a comment if you have received some enlightenment from the message, and I will be talking to you again very soon. You all take care, and I send you so much love. I'll talk to you later. Bye.